Today we're going to be taking a look at exponents. So right here I have 4 to the third power. So your base number is the whole number at the bottom. So my base number is 4, and then my exponent would be this 3. So there are kind of 3 different forms we need to be able to write exponents in. So this is the first one, 4 to the third power. This is called exponential form. So exponential form is written as an exponent. Okay, the next way we can write this out is in expanded form. So expanded form is kind of like showing your work. It's showing what you're doing to get 4 to the third power. So 4 to the third power means I'm multiplying 4 by itself 3 times. So the base number is the number that's being multiplied every single time, and the exponent tells you how many times it's being multiplied. So this 4 is being multiplied 3 times. So it's like 4 times 4 times 4. Okay? So when you write it out like this, when you're showing your work, that's called expanded form. Okay? And then the last thing is when you get your answer. So to get your answer, you can practice using your calculator. So it kind of depends on what kind of calculator you have. Most of them are pretty similar, so you're looking for a button on your calculator that looks like this. So it's kind of like pointing up. It's called the caret key. This is the one that you're going to be using to get your exponent. Okay, so my base number is 4, and then I'm going to press that caret key, that arrow going up, and then to the third power, so I'm just going to press 3. So 4 to the third power, 4 times 4 times 4, and my answer is going to be 64. So 64 is the third way that I could write this. So the answer is called either the product form, or it can be called the standard form. So either way. So exponential, we write it as an exponent. Expanded, we're expanding, we're writing out with the whole thing, showing our work. And then standard or product form means we're writing the answer. Okay, so next part says, write in exponential form and as a product. So exponential form, we're writing it as an exponent. So I have 4 3's here. So remember, this is going to be my base number, so I'm going to have a 3. And then my exponent is how many times I'm multiplying that 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so 3 to the 4th power. And then my product, my answer, I'm going to be doing 3 to the 4th power in my calculator, and I got 81. Okay, next one. So I have 7, and there's 2 of them, so 7 to the 2nd power. So that's like 7 times 7, so we should get 49. Next one, my base is 9, and I have 3 of them, so 9 to the 3rd power. And that's going to give me 729. Right, next part here says write in expanded form in the product. So expanded, I'm writing out, showing my work. So 6 to the 3rd power means I'm multiplying 6 3 times. And then to get my answer, I got 216. Next one, I'm writing 7 out 4 times. I'm just typing in my calculator like I showed you before, using that caret key. If you have a different type of calculator and you can't find the button, let me know. Send me a picture of it and I can show you. So 2 to the 5th power. I got 32. And then last one, this is a weird rule. Anything to the 0 power, your answer is always 1, and that's the only thing you would ever need to write. So I have 9 to the 0 power, so it's just going to be 1. So anything to the 0 power is 1. All right. These ones are a little bit trickier. So if you look at these first 2, the only thing that's different between them is this set of parentheses. But these 2 are going to get different answers. Okay, so if you don't have parentheses, this to the 3rd power only belongs to the 2. This one with the parentheses means that this that means that this one, the 3rd power, belongs to everything inside the parentheses. So this 3rd power belongs to the -2. So this one is like I'm doing -2 3 times, because that 3 belongs to the -2, belongs to everything inside that parentheses. whereas this one on top, that 3 only belongs to the 2. So I still am going to rewrite that negative I have out front, but that 2 is the only thing that's going to be repeated 3 times. Okay, so notice the difference between my 2 expanded forms. If there's no parentheses, the negative just goes out front. If there are parentheses, everything inside that parentheses is going to be repeated however many times the power is. So 2 to the 3rd power is 8. So I have negative 2 times 2 times 2. So this is going to be negative 8. And then negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. This one is also going to be negative 8. But you need to double check because if this is an even power instead of an odd one, you'll get different answers. So just be aware, in the parentheses, everything inside gets repeated. If it's not in parentheses, only the number next to the power gets repeated. Okay, and then last one here, anything in the 0 power is 1. Okay, we have a couple more to look at here. All right, so I don't see any parentheses here, so only the 4 is going to be repeated. So I'm going to have negative 4 times 4 times 4. And then this one I do see parentheses. So I'm going to have negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. All right, so I should get negative 64 for both of these, but just notice that when you're writing out an expanded form, if it has parentheses, everything inside gets repeated. If it does not have parentheses, only the number next to the exponent gets repeated, and you're just writing that negative out front. Okay, third one here, anything in the 0 power is 1. Okay, last couple questions here. So these ones are all fractions. So I have 1/3 to the 1 power, so that just means I have 1/3 one time, so that one's just going to be 1/3. Next one, I have 2/3 to the 2nd power, so that means I have to write out 2/3 2 times, so it's like 2/3 times 2/3. And multiplying fractions, you're just going to go straight across, so 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, so 4/9 would be my answer. Okay, next one, I have negative 1/2 3 times. So notice the negative is inside the parentheses with the 1/2, so I'm going to include it every single time when I'm rewriting my expanded form. Okay, so that negative is inside, so it got included every single time. So negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, times negative 1 is going to bring me back to negative 1. And since you already used up the negative on the numerators, you don't need to use it again on the denominators. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is going to give me 8. So negative 1/8 should be my answer. So your negative sign can either go out front or with the top number. Either way is fine. You just don't want to do a negative on the top and a negative on the bottom because 2 negatives here will make a positive, and we want a negative solution. All right, last one. Anything to the 0 power is 1, so we don't have to worry about that one.